Hello everyone, Paul Rogers here. Today is December the 30th, 2017. We're looking at Bitcoin to US dollar daily chart. Now, usually I'm looking at the 4 hour, but I want to pull back to give some perspective to what's happened over the last couple months. Now, Bitcoin had been moving at a pretty regular pace, had a nice trend channel, and then as you can see, we had a parabolic breakout to the upside. And things reached a fevered pitch of $20,000, and now we're heading back down to earth. And what is earth? That's the question today, is what is a good spot to expect a rebound? Now, in my last videos, I was expecting Bitcoin to push higher, and it hasn't worked out that way. Let me look at the 4 hour really quick. We saw a triangle, we had a breakout to the upside, things were looking very positive. I knew we'd have some trouble breaking through this resistance here, but there wasn't enough momentum, there wasn't enough volume, not enough buyers stepped in to support price. It just reached there, it looks like a huge sell order triggered and just shot price down further and further. Every time buyers tried to build things back up, sellers come in and just slam the price back down, and that's what's happening now. I mean, we're at a little bit of a, with this triangle, this resistance line is turning to support, so there is some support here, but not, it's weak, it's not strong enough, and some horizontal support as well. So where's a good place to try to pick up some cheap Bitcoin? 11,000 is a really good spot. Really good spot. But even better spot would be around 7,700, 7,600. If we look at the daily, we can see the strength of 7,000, 7,700 or so. It's strong for two reasons, and I covered this in a video maybe like a week and a half ago or so. I made a video talking about worst case scenarios, and it's good to hear those videos occasionally. Now, the worst case scenario was Bitcoin heading all the way down to this previous trend channel. I don't expect it to re-enter this trend channel. I expect it to bounce off this trend channel, head higher, if it happens at all. But there's a lot of reasons, technically speaking, why it's an amazing spot to buy. One, as you can see, this previous high right here, and two, we're going to be this trend channel that held up for a while on the daily. Both will give Bitcoin a lot of support, a base to work off of. So if Bitcoin does completely tank, it would take a pretty good headline. I mean, there's been headlines out, central bankers calling it a Ponzi scheme and this and that. And the banking system's expected to do that. Of course, they're going to say everything they can. They're going to associate Bitcoin with everything negative that they can, because they are in control of your money. And as an example, I yesterday went to receive a wire transfer from Kraken, and my bank asked me, "What is this for?" And I said, "Well, it's some profits from Bitcoin." Okay. They took it all the way up to their top level management, and they said, "We're going to reject your transfer, even though it came from another bank in Japan. We're going to reject your transfer, and we may close your account." That is what I got from my bank the other day. And my friend's bank, he went to go try to buy Bitcoin and send money out. And they told him that if he is saying that he is going to buy Bitcoin with those funds, then he cannot send the funds out. Yeah. So that's what the banking system is doing right now. They're trying to make it very difficult to acquire Bitcoin. Why? The less people that have Bitcoin, the easier it is to stifle Bitcoin and to stop this cryptocurrency revolution. This revolution is a special one because it's taking the power of money and putting it into the hands of the people that actually own it. Banks don't own money. They hold it for you. They're shepherds of your money, but they're not good shepherds because they're not letting you freely spend it on things that you want to spend it on. And I'm not going to the bank saying I'm going to buy a pound of heroin or anything with it. You know what I mean? It's nothing that's illegal. They're just going and trying. Bitcoin is not illegal unless you live in Venezuela or something. You know what I mean? And really, it's a reflection of the government that you live in. A government that's giving you the freedom to choose what kind of money or how you want to store your wealth, and being able to control your own finances. That's a free country. If there is a country that goes and puts a lot of restrictions or makes it impossible to, accept wires from other countries revolving in, anything to do with Bitcoin, what does that tell you? It tells you that that country is not very free. Now, I don't live in the United States right now. I'm outside. I'm in Central America. So that's something to consider. But I've heard of stories like this happening in United States as well, in North America. So let's go back to what I was talking about. So 11,000, a good spot to buy. Even better spot, it's hard to say, but probably 7,700. And I know many of you are going to say, oh, God, that's horrible, 7,700. Well, mark my words, it can happen. Ethereum is looking like it's about to fall off a cliff and head down to $500. Ugh, this is turning into a hard video. Hard video to listen to. But let's pull back on the daily. Let's keep in mind where we're coming from. This is where we're coming from over here, guys. And look at this. Look at these corrections. So is it that strange that we correct down to 500 and then head higher? I mean, is that such a strange thing? No, not at all. Is it a bad thing? No, not at all. Dash down to 896, and in a few videos ago I was saying Dash at $1,000 is a good deal, and that's when Dash was around, I think, 1,130 or so. And from a technical standpoint, it is a good spot. But right now, the best spot to buy Dash is looking around $650. So yeah, there's definitely a correction happening. Oh, here's some notifications. Litecoin also is looking like a major correction down to around 150. So I want to finish this video with talking about perspective. Now, we all would like Bitcoin to go up and altcoins up forever. But that's not how markets work. Markets, when they get overheated, overbought, they have to correct. They have to shake out weak hands. Now, what are weak hands? Weak hands are people that just bought because everyone else was buying and they thought that they'd become a millionaire overnight. Those are the weak hands right now. And they will break. People who bought on this bull run right here at the top, they're, how are they feeling right now? They're down 40%. Or as much as 40%, depending on what they purchased. But they're probably down 30 to 40%. So how are they feeling about this? At what point will they break? Well, some won't break, but a lot of them will probably start to break around now once they get towards 40% loss. Around 40% loss, people, I think, usually start to freak out. Over 50% loss, it's devastating. I've been through a 65% correction, and I pretty much started to freak out around 65%. At that point, I was like, whoa, this is really hard to handle. I mean, going and watching my crypto portfolio go down 65%, geez, that was a hard pill to swallow. And some of these people are going to go through that because there's a possibility Bitcoin, like I said, is going to go down to below $8,000. So anyhow, stay strong, stay convicted. Know that Bitcoin does have a purpose. This isn't just a Ponzi scheme that people are pumping and then gonna dump. This has a real world application. This is blockchain technology. This is distributed ledger technology. This is something that big banks are using. Just look at Ripple. Look at Ripple's price. Ripple's price skyrocketed. I predicted Ripple at 250, and I think it just hit 250 yesterday. And why is that? Is because bankers will badmouth Bitcoin day and night, but at the end, they want the technology. They want to hijack the technology. Well, don't let them. Hold your Bitcoin, hold your cryptocurrencies, and if you can, distance yourself from banking. Distance yourself from traditional banking. How do you do that? Well, you can get a Bitcoin debit card. You can get a debit card that accepts Ethereum or Litecoin or Dash, something that's a little less expensive to send right now. Bitcoin, yesterday I read an article about Lightning Network being tested on Bitcoin mainnet. They did a small transaction. It was successful. Lightning Network is coming and Bitcoin transactions will be cheap again. This is temporary. I expect in the next 3 months, some Lightning Networks will probably go online in Q1 and Q2 of next year. When that happens, people will notice, hey, Bitcoin's working again. The network is evolving to meet demand, and Bitcoin will become bullish because of that. People will say, oh, I like this. I like having my own money. I like controlling my own money. I don't like going to banks to ask them asking me 100 different questions to do something simple. I'm not a criminal. Why are you treating me like one? Well, that's the power of Bitcoin. So right now, like I said, Bitcoin has grown too fast for its own good, and this correction is a good thing. So hold tight. If you're looking to buy some more, we've talked about where. Keep in mind the uses of Bitcoin. Keep in mind why Bitcoin is getting resistance. Who are the people? What are the motivations behind the FUD? Why are bankers saying this? Why are bankers using Bitcoin technology as Ripple that they can control and use for their own purposes to save money and speed? Why do they want blockchain technology but only for themselves? Good questions to ask. Anyhow, stay strong. Paul Rogers out.